Question number one: what sparked your interest in photography, and how did you get started? I got started when I was very little, and I got started with these camera phones, Nikon, Nokia, and Sony Ericsson. Sony Ericsson K800, K810. These were the first phones I got my hands on, and Nokia 7710 and Nokia 6020. The 6020 camera had only VGA camera at that time, 480p photo quality. So yeah, after that I got fascinated how camera works. So I got enrolled into photography degree. Plus my first DSLR was D800 Nikon. Next question करो. चल रही है वीडियो?
चल रही है.
Can you tell us about your photography style? How would you describe it and what inspires it? My photography style, I cannot say anything about it. Why? Because I want the viewer to describe it. For example, if you visit my website, you will know that there is no genre. Well, I know that there is no genre which I didn't created my craft in. For example, I have tried all the genres in photography: boudoir, fine art, street, fashion, wedding, product, and all the genres you could think of. So that's what I am proud of a little, maybe, because now I'm quite bored of photography, because I know the insides and outsides of the camera and the lighting, all of it. So now I teach, and this is what inspires it, that always, all the time, there is new product, new models, new city, new street. So this is what keeps me engaged, and keeps me motivated to take more and more photos. That's it. Question number 3: what's your favorite genre of photography? Portrait, landscape, street, and why do you
ये
enjoy
बेशक
it?
स्किप कर दें.
What's the most challenging project or shoot you have worked on, and how did you overcome any obstacles? What's the most challenging project? There are quite many projects which were challenging. Well, the most recent one was that I was invited for a wedding photo shoot. I don't do weddings. First off, I should tell you that. Well, this wedding photo shoot had, you could say, there was a person who stole the jewelry in that wedding, and I was the main photographer, and I was the subject of investigation as well. So it was quite haphazard and absurd journey throughout these 3-4 days all of the photo shoot. So this was a quite tricky project, because that they were my clients, and plus there was this stolen jewelry box, and I was part of it in the photography team from the bride side. So yeah, it was quite challenging.
अच्छा, गर्दन अपनी सीधी रखनी है, आपकी गर्दन टेढ़ी होती है बार बार.
ये मसला है.
मतलब वो लेफ्ट साइड पे चली जाती है.
अभी ठीक है?
हाँ जी, अब ठीक है.
Can you walk us through your creative process when approaching a new project or shoot? Well, my creative process is that the person or the client I'm working with, they must be responsible in communication first. Second, they must be at least respectful towards the craft of photography, and that's it. Otherwise, I'm open to work with everybody. 6: how do you stay inspired and motivated to keep producing new and innovative work? I think I've answered this question already, that every new project, every new model, street, everything is new every time. So this is what keeps me motivating. Question number 7: what's the best advice you have received as a photographer, and how has it impacted your work? Well, I have taken many advices from my teachers. For example, Malcolm Hutchison from Scotland and Matt Cushion from Maryland, Ohio. These were my main professors, and before them there was only one photographer teacher who inspired me in NCA in 2010, His name was Abdul Qayyum, and I still respect him and I miss him. He told me that always and always check the sensor size. When I was in NCA studying this diploma, there was always this debate of megapixels. So he taught me that megapixel is nothing compared to the sensor size. If the sensor is big, for example, medium format, and it's 24 megapixel or even 12 megapixel, that sensor will capture more light as compared to a 36 or 46 megapixel Sony, because the sensor is small in Sony. So yeah. Question number question
मतलब
number
खुद ही
8.
क्वेश्चन पढ़ लेना, मतलब उसमें ऐसा क्वेश्चन हो जो ज़्यादा व्यूवर्स को कुछ इन्फॉर्मेशन दे सके, मतलब
Question
एक हट के इन्फॉर्मेशन.
Question number 8. Can you tell us about a particularly memorable or meaningful shoot you have worked on and what made it stand out? Well, there are quite a lot of photo shoots. My website is just 1% of my portfolio. Everything is in the drives. So, this question, meaningful or memorable photo shoot, right at this moment, I think the most memorable photo shoot would be of a child on the beach, which got second place in a photography exhibition. So that photo is not uploaded on the website, but there is this small 2-year-old, someone's daughter. She was smiling and she had a kite in her hand at the beach, and I took a photo and I submitted in Faces of the City, theme of the exhibition, and it got selected and I got awarded. So I'm very happy of that photograph because it's a smiling, happy photo. Next question.
कोई एक जो अच्छा सा वो पढ़ लें.
नहीं, सारे पढ़ लेते. Can you how do you see the photography industry evolving in the next few years, and how do you plan to adapt? Well, this is a very important question because AI has taken over in all of our daily endeavors. For example, I believe that in future AI would take over enough that our cameras will no longer be required. For example, even now at weddings and other photo shoots, people use iPhones. So if you just foresee the future in this regard, in the same pattern, the cameras will no longer be required. I'm talking about next 50 years. What advice would you give to aspiring photographers just starting out, and what do you wish you had known when you were starting your career? Well, this is again an important question for the aspiring photographers. For example, don't think much about your gear. Always, whatever you have, for example, this phone, you can do wonders. Just go to any special location or a photo shoot where you could take pictures. So don't stop taking pictures and always keep moving forward. If you have done one genre, go to another genre. If you have done food, go to street. If you have done street, go to landscape. If you have done landscape, go to boudoir. Something like that. Okay. What's one photography technique or trick that you think every photographer should know, and how do you use it in your work? Well, the photography technique that you should know all the rules of photography and you should know how to break them. Can you share a favorite photography hack or DIY solution that you've discovered and how it will help you with work? Well, there are DIY solutions. There are some filters which you can plug on the lens, and they can give you a kaleidoscope effect. One person will give you like 11 of those. Like for example, if you need a reference, I could give you the movie Matrix, the latest part, the last part, fourth version, the Matrix. I forgot the fourth part name. First one Matrix, second Reloaded, third Revolutions, fourth I forgot. So there is this kaleidoscope effect of Trinity. So that effect can be achieved with just a filter on the lens front. Next, how do you approach editing and post-processing of photos, and what are some of your go-to techniques? Well, these days everything is so fast and everybody wants so much. Everybody is so much hurry that we cannot do, well, at least I don't do manual editing. I use AI, plus I use my ready-made presets. It saves time. So yeah, this is what I do about processing, and I usually try that I should edit my own photos. I don't edit someone else taken photos because, well, sometimes I do, but usually I prefer my own photos. Next, what's the most common mistake you see new photographers making, and how did they avoid it? Well, new photographers, if you haven't studied anything about photography, well, the money aspect is separate, but if you haven't studied anything about photography, I always, every time I see that photographers don't even know how much shutter speed should be set on what location, what room, what street, whatever the ambience is. They don't know what shutter speed works, how it works, how ISO works. This is like basic. This is like ABC of photography. So you should spend more time before starting out what these are for. So if you master these, everything will be okay.
एक लास्ट एक क्वेश्चन मैंने करना है, वो उसमें यही पूछना है कि एक फोटोग्राफर
अच्छा. Can you share a favorite photography exercise or challenge that you use to stay creative and inspired, and how it helped you grow as a photographer? Well, the photography challenge is one photography challenge is that you need to find clients, and even for collaborations, you need to find a face that you are more attracted to, you want to work with. So this is one challenge I face, that I am always working and always looking for new faces, because I usually do more portraits. Thank you. Question?
अच्छा, लास्ट क्वेश्चन ये है कि एक सिंपली एक ऐसी एडवाइस करनी फोटोग्राफी एडवाइस मिसाल के तौर पे, जिस तरह आपने हमेशा अपना कैमरा अपने साथ रखना है, इस तरह की कोई एक ऐसी एडवाइस, मतलब जो हर जॉनरा में यूज हो, एक सिंपल एडवाइस.
So the advice I would like to give to other fellow photographers, or maybe who are just starting out their career in photography, um, even if you are going out for buying grocery, always keep your camera with you, or maybe at least you should have a good enough phone that you could take a photograph. Because Chuck Close, he's a visual artist, he said that in painting there are no accidental masterpieces, but there are accidental masterpieces in photography. So if you don't have any camera with you, even a phone or DSLR, how could you take any photograph outside? So whenever you go, wherever you go, always keep a camera with you. Why? Because you never know. You don't know the future. Nobody knows the future. So if you're a photographer, you have that eye, always keep your camera with you.
सबसे लास्ट और पहला क्वेश्चन, अपना इंट्रोडक्शन छोटा सा आपने बताना है.
My introduction, I'm a nobody. I am
उसमें बताना है आई एम सामिद अली, क्योंकि मैंने सबसे पहले वीडियो वही लगानी है कि आई एम सामिद अली, आई एम फ्रॉम पाकिस्तान लाहौर, ये मेंशन करना है, क्योंकि उसके अंदर मैंने सारे आर्टिस्ट का मेंशन किया कि भाई ये आर्टिस्ट सारे पाकिस्तान से हैं.
हाँ, चलो.
तो उसमें आपने बताना कि मैं लाहौर पाकिस्तान बेस्ड या बताना है. उसमें थोड़ा सा अपना शॉर्ट इंट्रोडक्शन करना, फिर बेशक आप कहते हैं आई एम नोबडी, लेकिन एक बेसिक इंट्रोडक्शन आपने लाजमी करवाना है.
सही है.
चले.
My name is Samid, and I am a visual artist, filmmaker, and a photographer. And my genre of photography, I have no specific genre. Well, my major, if you could say that my practicing visual artist, which I do, is fine art. And if you want to see my work, you could just go visit samidali.com/fine art. You could see that that's where my work is. Other than that, I do commercial, every kind of work, product, fashion, wedding. I usually, ignore weddings. And then my education, I did my bachelor's in photography from private university in Lahore, Pakistan. Then I went to study MFA in New York. Then I have other qualifications as well, but they are just there to fulfill my own satisfaction. I have you could say I have a keen inquiry, or you could say anxious soul, or you could say longing to seek new knowledge, like that curiosity which a newborn baby has. So I'm always learning, I'm always creating, I'm always studying psychology, philosophy, photography, anything which I could get my hands on. So this is my background, and this is my introduction.
Done.